In the little city of Ekachakra the Pandavas lived as brahmans, five of the mightiest men alive, going door to door with begging bowls. Each evening, they carried what they had gathered home to Kunti, and each evening she waited by the door, her heart tightening at every late footstep, imagining the worst. Hidden greatness lives a very anxious life. Kunti divided the day's food by an old, unfair arithmetic, half for Bhima, and the other half split among the rest of them and herself. It was not favoritism. Bhima was the son of the wind, built on a scale that needed feeding, and even that half was never quite enough. They called him Vrikodara, wolf-bellied, and a wolf, always looks half-starved no matter how it eats. On a beggar's rations in Ekachakra, the mightiest of the brothers grew visibly thinner, and his mother and brothers ached to watch that great frame go lean. Strength has a price, and here they could barely pay it. To ease the days, Bhima took to helping a local potter, hauling clay for him, and the potter, grateful, gave him an enormous earthen pot. It became the joke of the street, the giant Brahman and his giant ball, urchins hooting after him. Bhima only grinned and carried it home. He had learned to take his laughter where he could. Then, one day when his brothers were out begging and only Bhima and his mother were home, a sound came through the wall, weeping, and not ordinary weeping. From the house of their Brahman host rose the kind of grief that means catastrophe. Kunti rose at once. She could no more ignore a neighbor's anguish than stop her own breath. She went in and found the family drowning. The Brahman, his wife, a young daughter, a small boy, all of them weeping past speech. She sat among them and waited, gentle and patient, until grief could find words. Slowly, in broken pieces, the terrible thing came out. The husband was turning on himself. "I begged you," he told his wife again and again. "Let us leave this cursed city while we could. But you were born here, your people are buried here, and you would not go. And now look what your stubbornness has brought us." Grief had made him cruel, the way fear does, to the person he loved most. But the blame collapsed into love as fast as it had risen. "How can I send you to your death? You who are my wife, my children's mother, my whole world? And how send our daughter, a trust from God, meant for some good man one day? Or the boy, our only hope, the one who will pour the offerings for our souls? Better we all die together." And he broke. Then the wife answered, steadily, which was the heartbreaking part. "Send me," she said. "I have given you a son and a daughter. My duty is done, and you cannot raise them without a father's strength, while I, a widow, would only be prey to wicked men. A wife who dies before her husband dies blessed. Bid me farewell with a brave smile. Take another wife and let me go." The Brahman caught her in his arms and wept like a child. "What words are these?" he said. "A husband's first duty is to shield his wife, and I should live on, having handed you to a monster? I would be the lowest sinner alive." So the two of them clung together, each demanding to be the one to die. And the room could not hold so much love and so much horror at once. And then a small voice cut through. The daughter, barely more than a child. "Listen to me though, I am young," she said. "It is I you can spare. Save the family by losing only me. Let me be the little boat that carries you across this river of sorrow. A motherless girl is helpless anyway, and an orphaned pair cannot survive alone. Send me." Her parents seized her and wept harder. She reasoned it out with a calm no child should own. One death to buy the family's life is a good death, she said, even counting only my own good. And through the sobbing, the littlest one, the baby boy, watched his whole family come apart. Something in him decided he would not allow it. The boy toddled from lap to lap. Father, don't cry. Mother, don't cry. Sister, don't cry. Patting each wet face with a small hand. And when that did not stop the tears, he marched to the woodpile, hauled out a stick of firewood, and brandished it in his little fist. I will kill the Rakshasa with this. They laughed through their grief, and the laugh hurt worse than the crying. Now Kunti spoke. Tell me the whole of it, she said gently, and let me see if there is anything I can do. The Brahman shook his head. Mother, this sorrow is past your helping. But she waited, and so he told her. Near the city, in a cave, lived a Rakshasa named Bakasura, monstrous and unkillable. 13 years ago, he said, the demon seized this city, and our own king fled and could not protect us. At first, Baka simply came and ate. Men, women, children, whoever he pleased. So in the end, the citizens struck a bargain with their tormentor, the way the helpless do. Not slaughter, but tribute. Each week, one household sends a cartload of food, rice, meat, curds, drink, 2 bullocks to pull it, and 1 human being to drive it. Baka devours the food, the bullocks, and the man, and in return leaves the rest of us alone and even guards the borders. House by house, in turn, the lot comes round. And now, said the Brahman, it has come to mine. No hero has ever freed us. He went on, every brave man who tried, Baka has killed. A weak king is a curse on his people. Where no strong hand rules, no wife is safe, no child, no home. Nothing a man builds. I have no money to buy a substitute, and I cannot send one of us and live. So we go together, my whole family, and let the glutton have us all. Forgive me. You asked, and this is the answer. Kunti listened to the end and did not despair, because Kunti was not looking at a monster. She was thinking of a son. She stepped out, spoke quietly with Bhima, and came back with her face changed. Good man, she said, dry your tears. God is great, and I am not without resources. I have 5 sons. One of them will drive your cart to the Rakshasa. The Brahman leapt up, then sunk back, shaking his head. He would not buy his own family's life with the guests. But Kunti reassured him, fear nothing. My son has powers born of mantras. I have watched him kill Rakshasas before, and he will kill this one. Only tell no one. If the deed is talked about, his power comes to nothing. Keep our secret and take your life back. Her true fear, of course, was not the demon, but the whisper. If Ekachakra buzzed that a Brahman boy had slain a Rakshasa bare-handed, Duryodhan's spies would read the Pandavas' name in it, and the hunt would be on again. And Bhima. Bhima heard the plan and lit up with a joy his family had not seen in months. At last, a fight and a full meal, and someone who deserved to be hit. When the others came home with their arms, Yudhishthir saw that long-lost light on Bhima's face and knew his brother was bound for something dangerous. Kunti told him everything, and the eldest was appalled. Mother, is this not reckless? We sleep safe only because Bhima guards us. It is his strength that will win back our kingdom, his arms that carried us out of the burning house. and you would wager him on a stranger's grief? Have your trials clouded your judgment? Kunti answered without flinching. Dear son, for many months this Brahman has sheltered us, and the highest virtue a man owns is to repay a kindness with a kindness. I do not fear for Bhima. I have seen him carry us from Varnavata. I have seen him crush the demon Hidimba. This family gave us a roof. We will give them their lives. It is not recklessness. It is the debt we owe. Yudhishthir bowed his head and consented. So at the appointed hour, Bhima loaded the great cart, yoked the bullocks, and rolled toward the demon's cave. And on the way, in no hurry at all, he began to eat the offering himself. By the time he reached the cave mouth, he was sprawled by the cart, working through the last of Baka's dinner, and he called out cheerfully for the monster to come and watch. Baka came, a mountain of rage and hunger, and saw a man calmly eating his food. The roar shook the hills. The demon flung himself on him and got the fight of his life. They tore up trees and swung them like clubs, grappling and hurling each other across the clearing, until Bhima caught Baka, bent him backward over his knee, and broke him in two. He dragged the carcass to the city gate and left it there. At dawn, Ekachakra woke to find its tyrant lying dead, and never knew whose hands had done it. The Brahman family kept the secret. The Pandavas kept their disguise. And soon after, wandering Brahmans brought that house news that changed everything. In Panchala, Drupad was holding a Swayamvara for his daughter.